city's efforts to address homelessness. Joyce highlighted the efforts of the city's homeless coordinators who have worked as civilian employees of the Parkersburg Police Department since 2021. Since then, Mayor Joyce says the homeless coordinators have helped return 239 homeless individuals not from Parkersburg to their places of origin, in some cases to places as distant as California and Arizona. The coordinators don't directly provide resources to the homeless, but help connect them to other local organizations that offer shelter or addiction treatment programs.
When we conceptualized this program, again, some 4 years ago or so, we wanted to, we call it a little bit of a more hard-nosed approach. You can't if you don't want to live like this, we'll help you get where you can get some help.
Mayor Joyce said he believes addressing issues like homelessness and substance abuse in the community in the long term will mean focusing more resources on youth prevention and education. During their meeting this morning, the commissioners also discussed the insurance program for county employees and a court security grant application.